In this Dreamweaver tip, I want to show you how to create a separate style for multiple links or text links on your page. Now, this is something that a lot of people have done, and this is actually kind of not really related to Dreamweaver, but it is web, so we'll do it in here. Now, I have a style right down here. On the right over here in the CSS Styles panel, you guys will see I've got the typical A link, A visited, A hover, A active. Now, these are the four that we typically create, and there's shortcutting we can do and things like that, but these are what most people will do. Now, I want to create a back to top link here that looks different, or I want to do it in the sidebar, let's say. So I'm going to show you two ways to get this done. Now, if I select back to top and I come to my link field down here in the property inspector and just put in a placeholder, you guys will see that the pound sign is usually a placeholder. And I look at it, you're going to see it's pulling from that A link. Now, what we're going to do is, you guys, we're going to create a class, and then we're going to create another couple styles. So I want to put it probably below these. I'll go after A active, let's say. So I'll come over here to the right, and you guys can see new CSS rule, and we can do it in the property inspector as well, but I'll do it down here. And this will be a class, and we'll actually call this, I don't know, whatever, like back to top. You can call it whatever you want, you guys. Keep it simple. Click OK. Now, I'm not going to do any formatting. I don't really care. This is just a dummy placeholder class that says, okay, any link with this class applied, we're going to make it look like this. I'll click OK. Now we're going to apply the class. So I'll select it, and usually what I do, you guys, is I click on the A here to select it there. And then come down here, you're going to see class. I'll assign that class, and this is going to be a dummy one. So let me scroll up here and assign back to top. Nothing assigns, but you guys can see A dot back to top. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a style for that. So if you come over to the right, we'll create a series of styles. Now we can copy these styles if we want to, you guys, pretty easily, but I'll create a new one and just show you guys. And I'm going to create a dummy one here. So A dot back to top. So what we're saying here is we're saying, okay, if you find an anchor tag or an anchor with the back to top class applied, then let's make it look like this, okay? Now we can do the typicals, you guys. We can create all four. Now if I just did this, A dot back to top, that would control pretty much all four of the states, they call them. But I can go in and do this, you guys. We can do all four. So I'll go A dot back to top colon link. Click OK. You guys can see classes start with something. So we're going to get a little tricky here. We're going to call it compound. Okay, now it's going to go crazy here, you guys. And I hate how Dreamweaver does this. So I'll get rid of this crap and put it back in. Colon link. Now, compound says we can do pretty much anything we want. I'll click OK. There we go. Now, all we need to do, you guys, this is the key here. We need to just change what we want to be different, because it's already picking up the A colon link styling. So if I want the color to be different, I'll just pick a different color. Click apply. Take a look. There it is. I want to do an underline for these. I might just choose underline here for text decoration. Click apply. There you go. Click OK. And that's how we can create a separate link, basically. Now, what I would do is I would take this and either copy it by right-clicking and saying duplicate it, and change it to be the visited, because you guys, what we have to do is we still have to create, in this case, we've got to create an A dot back to top colon visited, A dot back to top colon hover, and A dot back to top colon active. So I would create three more styles. But frankly, right now I'm kind of lazy, so I won't do that. Hopefully you guys understand that. Now, the next way to do this, you guys, if we have something in, like, let's say a sidebar over here, let me select the sidebar content, and I'll say, click to see the article or something. And I select that text, and I put a little link on it. Let me do that down here once again in the property inspector. And if you look at it, it's just going to pick up the typical styling we have. Now, another way to make a style here is, let's suppose in the sidebar here, you guys can see that it's in the div pound sidebar. I want all my links to look the same way. I'm going to come over to the right over here. I'm going to come to the sidebar, and I usually group all this stuff together, and make a new style. And I want to show you guys what the style looks like. So if I select the text just to make sure I've got it selected, make sure sidebar is selected over here, make a new style, come in here, I'm going to make a compound style, and what we can do is something like this, you guys. We can create a style, delete this stuff I don't need, like this. Sidebar space A colon link. What I'm saying is I'm being more specific here. This is called a descendant selector. It's saying if you find a link within this sidebar style, div with a sidebar style slide or whatever it is, then let's make it look like this. I'll click OK. Now I just want to change color, let's say, so I'll choose color, try something different like gray. Click apply, and there we go. Underline, Click apply. There we go. Now, the great thing about styles, you guys, I'll click OK here, is that it's going to create as many styles as we need here. Well, there's one for the bottom, for the footer, for all the links. That's a::link. Here's the class one we did, and then the sidebar one. So you're just being more specific. That's what you're doing. But you do need to be careful, you guys, because here's how it works. If I put my cursor in this link over here, take a look. I'll hover over it for a second. Now, there's a shortcut to get to this, but there's the code navigator, that little ship wheel. Click on that. You're going to see that sidebar A-link is what's applied last, but you'll notice that it's picking up formatting from these as well. A-link, A-visited, A-hover, A-active. So A-link, visited, hover, active, these are applied to pretty much every link on your page, you guys. But when you go to get more specific by using the class like we did initially or using this one, that's going to just literally either add to the styling or override, part of the cascade, some of the styling from before. Now, of course, last thing here, I would make pound sidebar A::visited, pound sidebar A::hover, pound sidebar A::active. You're going to make 3 more links for this. And there you go. I mean, that's 2 different ways to make other link styles within your document using CSS.